to Mental Health 101. My name is Ramona. As most of you will know, I have an MA in clinical psychology, and I have two beautiful co-presenters today that might introduce themselves right now. Bliss, you go first.
Hi, I'm Bliss, and I'm a research assistant for Trauma Speaks.
Hi, I'm Lindsay, and I'm also a research assistant for Trauma Speaks.
Great. So if everyone has questions, anyone goes too fast, just let us know. We're also keeping an eye on the chat, and we will have time for discussions throughout the presentation. So let's get started. So what exactly is mental health? Anyone wants to chime in right here?
I want to, Ramona, we've talked a lot about in our cohort about psychological health, hence psychology, clinical psychology. And so we studied a lot about the DSM psychopathology. Now, those are intended for pretty much, quote, the negative aspects of mental health or instability, right? And so first thing I think is, state of being in your mental stability, psychological. And I actually walked in when somebody was saying, you don't know what the trauma they've been through. That's all I heard, but that's pretty much, related to the mental health series of events that can lead to how we manage triggers, whether emotional or external triggers, even sensory triggers. And I wanted to, to put in basic terms our coping skills, how they are when it comes to those life stressors or triggers, right? Varying degrees of reactivity, and I could go on, but yeah, it's like a state of being, how you handle things in life.
And that is a good thing because it is a state of just the entire well-being in which the individualized just realizes his or her own abilities and can cope with like the stressors of life, can work productively and fruitfully, and is also kind of able to make contribution not just to their own life, but also to the community. That is essentially what mental health is supposed to be when it's fully functioning. And let's have a little look at what mental health actually is all about. Mental health is all about that it is important, and it should be important to everyone who is aware how significant mental health can impact your life. It is also something that everyone has. It is worth making time for. This is important because making time for your mental health, as you will later on see, is essential to live a good life, to live a life where you feel comfortable in yourself. It's also part of being a human. And it is a priority. Mental health is sadly not always considered a priority for people individually or even for entire communities. Mental health is not always placed at a level where it should be, and I hope one day we get there, but I'm pretty sure we're not anywhere close that it is prioritized as it should be. Mental health isn't a sign of weakness. It's also not shameful. It is not something that is negative or should be negatively looked at. And it's also nothing that you just suddenly wake up and decide that you have it. And it isn't fixed. Mental health is not something that's fixed. And fake news is also not what mental health is all about. It's not something that people just came up with and it doesn't matter. It is a priority, and it gives you the ability to be your best version of who you want to be. So there's a wheel, as you can see, of well-being, because mental health, a lot of people think it's just in your brain and I feel good or I don't feel good, but an entire well-being and a good mental health it has to fit into all parts of your life. So it's part emotional, how you deal with things. It's spiritual, your beliefs, how you're part of a community. Also financially or legal issues can severely impact your mental health. How are you in your professional life? Your physical health is very important as well. And also the relationships that you have with other people. All of those 6 factors combine how good and how strong your mental health is. If just one of those areas is off, it can impact everything else. So it's making sure that you can make healthy decisions and live a balanced life, like body, mind, and soul. It all needs to balance out, or it won't work very well. And I'm pretty sure all of you have had moments in their life where they experienced mental health issues because one of those or multiple of those areas were just off. You weren't at the right job, you didn't exercise, your relationships didn't work out, you had financial issues, or you just couldn't deal with your own emotions. So this is why this wheel of well-being just shows really well how all of those areas in your life are. Sometimes just help your mental health through like activity, for example. Because, for example, poor mental health causes behaviors that lead to unhealthy decision, and obviously always makes us prone to more diseases coming. And it also drains energy. If you have no energy, if you feel like just, I'm exhausted, I'm tired, I'm not feeling well, a lot of people know the issue when you're very depressed or anxious, you have no energy. And if you have no energy, you don't make good decisions. How could you? You need energy in your body and also in your mind to make good decisions for both mental health and physical health. And here it is again, it works the other way too. Physical health can affect the mental health. So how can your physical health actually help your mental health? Well, it depends on your lifestyle. Like if you drinking daily alcohol, if you eat bad food, if you don't regularly take vacations or breaks from life and just go out and enjoy nice things. So diet is important, also the hygiene. And I think with hygiene, it's not just the physical hygiene, but the mental one, like taking time for meditation or doing some yoga and just exercise as well to get those muscles pumping and feel good. And I'm pretty sure all of us know this. When you do 15 to 20-minute workout, you already feel better. Yeah, you're sweaty, you're exhausted, but mentally, you're already feeling, yeah, okay, I got this, I feel better. So I think that it's very important to always look at both. And it is absolutely okay if during certain times of your life, you cannot focus on both, that you prioritize one over the other, because at least you focus on one of them. It gets really bad once you start ignoring both of them. And I know we talked in our podcast about it, about how it is to live with depression. Sometimes you don't even have a choice to take care of both of it. So at this point, the only thing that you can do is be kind to yourself. Don't be harsh on yourself, because it's not going